Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to go over the AM silver bullet for Thursday, May 2nd. So the first thing we do is we're going to turn on the Kraken Silver Bullet Pro indicator, and I think what I did was left the kill zone on and then the PM sell side on as well. And then the previous day. So that's what we've got going on right here. And then obviously it's coming down from here, so it's just kind of been kind of consolidating, come up and down. So if I pulled the fib, if you pulled the fib from this high, saying this was a market maker sell model, right? If you did that from here to here, you would have 4s here, right? So if you went to the 5-minute and you pulled it from low to high, that's probably more accurate. Down here, you'd aiming for the previous day low, which is what I think we were aiming for at this point too. So I think that's what we pull it from the 5. I'm not taking a trade here. I want to see liquidity swept of some sort. I don't want to just chase price, and that's kind of what it feels like to me. I want to see what happens here. So I was seeing, and I just watched this. I remember watching this and being like, man, I just watched 70 points go by. And sometimes that's what you got to do. Can't take every trade setup. I like to take breakers. And there's previous day low, been taken. Okay, so let's see if this retraces. Okay, I'm liking that. And the breaker is way up here, though. But you've got a small inversion here now, but who cares? But you got a fair value gap here. You got a inversion here if it trades beyond that. So let's see if that holds price down or up, or if it continues up or not. Okay, so now let's see. You have an inversion fair value gap right there. Okay, I'm just seeing how I'm just watching price action right now to see if it's going to go back up. It's a long move down. I like to see it's going to at 2.5. We like to see price retrace back up, pull back up. So I'm looking for a pullback. I don't think it's going to go back up higher. I just think pull back and then down again. So that's 2 to 2.5. It hit that perfectly, and then previous day low we swept this major liquidity. So now it's coming up. It'd be natural. I like that. Just need a little bit more than what I see right here for a value gap there now. Let's see if it takes off this breaker. I'd love for it to close above this breaker block and take a breaker block entry. Oof. Let's just mark that off the breaker if that was a breaker. Okay, if this was a breaker, that's what it would be. Oof, right now it's just an order block though, so let's go with a negative order block. So it almost filled it in. So if I took a trade here, let's just mark up a trade here. So I marked up a trade. If I took a trade here, this high, yeah, I have to go off the inversion. That's what I want right there. Let's see if I can get one. Right there, probably maybe would have entered, but let's just move our stop right here. I'm gonna buy one there. I know it's there, but I'll go here instead, 400. Come on, and then this would have been aiming for these highs right here. So let's go like that. 800. Let's go with 800. Let's go for 800 right there. Why am I not using this? I'll just move this up here like that. Okay, just to be even. It's just a straight 2 to 1. Why am I aiming for this low? Because it failed to make that a breaker. So to me, this is kind of a risky trade. However, I got a fair value gap and an inversion and an order block here. This down close candle right here is the order block. Created a fair value gap. So I have all those holding my price. Now you can easily wick through though. and not close below, and it'd take me out. So this is not a very good trade. Ideally, I wanted off this order block, which was be converted to a breaker block once it trades through it. So this is probably a B setup for me. A setup would be the breaker block entry. So this is a lower probability model 2022 entry. Go higher, go higher. Oh yeah. Let's see, I'm loving that. Now, as soon as it went up there, I would have been gone in profit like that. I mean, for now, because I'm not going to give up 600, I'm probably going to go like right up here because I don't know what's going to happen here. Okay, done. Okay, that was a B setup. It worked out great, and in hindsight, everyone would say, like, that's a great trade. You know, that's still a B plus setup all day long. Why? Because it failed to take out the market structure shift. Like, that'd be a market structure shift right here. It didn't take that out. So, yes, I have an inversion and 2 fair value gaps and order block holding my price, but this would have been a B plus setup. It did work out great. Just because it worked out doesn't mean it's a solid A plus setup. It was a B setup all day long. It did work out, so I'm happy for that. But now this becomes a breaker block. So this would be a breaker block right now. So now it comes back here and doesn't close below consequent encroachment. Candle body's got to respect that. I want to see how it reacts to this, and then I'll take a trade, and we'll go, go to the New York midnight open. That'd be great. Now, if it price trades up to New York midnight open now, I won't take a trade up to that. It's a nice target I like to aim for. I got these relatively equal lows. I'm sorry, equal highs right here. That's a good one right there. So ideally, I'd like it to come back down and leave these as relatively equal highs right here and here. I'd really like that. That sounds good to me. I'm running out of my silver bullet window. Ooh. All right, candle body respecting constant encroachment. Wicks do the damage. Oof, I like it. I like it. I like it. You know what? Okay, so I have a fair value gap here. You have this, and this is just respecting it, respecting price, right? So I'm going to buy one, throw a position on there, and let's put this up here where it was. It's right below the order block, the breaker block rather. Let's go here, 400, 400, 400. Okay, and let's go up to New York midnight open. Let's go to these highs. Let's go to New York midnight open. We're on even number 1750. Let's go right here. Ooh, whatever. Okay. Okay, so let's do that. Let's see if we get entered in here. Oh, almost taken out. Do you see that? Almost taken out. Almost lost 400 bucks like that. Should have. Ideally, you wouldn't have entered at the end of that. You would have, put a stop at down here or down to the wicks area to try and get a wick entry, constant encroachment entry. So if you were down here, you would have felt a little better, but that's not how Tradingview works. So we were right there. Almost got wicked out and lost 400 bucks just like that. Okay, so now, see how it goes here. If it takes out these relative equal highs now, I'm going to go break even. Try to let it have a little room to breathe here. Alright, so I just did that. Let's move our stop to break even. Let's go right here at 100 bucks, $100. Ooh, that's nice. Let's move our stop to You have several PD arrays here blocking holding price, so I'm just going to go to this kill zone here. This is going for 1,400 points right here, apparently. So we have to trail this a little bit more. Right there, perfect. Okay. Give it a few more candles here. All right. Let's discuss. Let's recap here. All right, we came to the 10 o'clock silver bullet hour, and we saw that we were just trending down. And so on the 5-minute, we pulled our fib and saw that 2.5 standard deviations was right by previous day low. So as price started tanking, we saw that it was going towards previous day low. That was the drawn liquidity. Now you could have entered up here in this fair value gap. I didn't. Let me zoom in. Zoom in here. You could have entered on this fair value gap. I didn't. Aiming for this low would have been a good trade down. I didn't take that. So then we, at 2.5 standard deviations, 2.5, we know that it's a good point where it likes to retrace or do a pullback. Could even be a reversal, but we didn't see any SMT, so we didn't think it was going to be a complete reversal. I think it'd be more of a pullback. And so what does price do? It came up and it stopped before making this, breaking the market structure shift, but left behind an inversion and 2 fair value gaps and a break and an order block. Okay. So, we took a trade here. It was I say a B setup all day long, and we were just aiming for these highs here, right? So low hanging fruit, just a 2-to-1 trade. Or 1-to-2 trade, one risking 20 for 40. So we got that. We could have aimed for more, but we just wanted to get in and get out. Now you could have left a runner, whatever, but that's what we did here. We wanted to see the breaker, right? Because this stopped short. And so when this traded through, this became a breaker block. And then when we came to down, we wanted to see how price was respecting the breaker block. It traded into it, but didn't go past consequent encroachment with the body closes, right? The wicks do the damage, right? And so when we entered here, we actually entered on the close of the candle, which I would have entered, had a limit order or bought when it was down here and it was retracing up. That's when I would have bought, market order in. But this almost wicked us out and lost $400 just like that. It didn't. It rose up, and then when it took out these relatively equal highs, we went break even. And then when it took out these relatively equal highs, we moved our stop up even higher. And then it eventually took us out at New York Midnight Open. Could have gone for these highs, yes, but New York Midnight Open was fine. The problem with aiming at specific targets, if you notice, when I like to go just 1 or 2 below the main target, and the reason I do that is because sometimes it may just fall short just to trip people up. They're trying to be too exact with their entries and exits. So I like to make sure that I'm going to get taken in or out if it's going to happen. So that's why I went with New York Midnight Open versus these highs. Granted, it worked out, but now it's kind of like retracing. I don't know what it does here after this. But that's your 2 silver bullet trade setups for Thursday, May 2nd, using the Kraken suite of indicators.